we would have played, we played a little bit better. Okay, so if you're listening on YouTube, there's 2 minutes left in the game, or you're watching on YouTube, sorry, my bad. Listen, if you're on YouTube, there's 2 minutes left in the game. I'm about to start the podcast, just whatever, you're joining in. This is how I do it, I don't care. Whatever. Alright, guys, so there's 2 minutes left in the game. Sorry to come in hot on everybody. But there's 2 minutes left in the game, and not gonna lie, the Colts are winning. So it's, I don't know how, but it's. I want to go back to my example of getting jerked off at a funeral, because that's what it's like. I knew something bad was gonna happen. We're gonna have to bury someone. Fat Randy. I'm not gonna put it on his shoulders because he carried us this far. But it banked right. I'm not putting that on him because we wouldn't have to be there if we would have played. We played a little bit better, you know. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm sitting in kind of like a command center right now. This is actually pretty cool. But there's 2 minutes left. Bengals at 27, Colts at 31. Bengals are in the deficit. Let's go. Let's see. And this is kind of why I want to do this. I don't want to narrate the rest of the game, but I figured it could take up some of the time. So this is, if this is what you guys want to listen to. So some of my major points from the game. AJ Green, he took what everybody said about him last week to heart, and he has been playing his little heart out. I can't wait to get the stats on him because, ooh, in a flea, is that a flea flicker? Is that a flea flicker? Or a pea dicker? I don't know. I can't tell. Joe Mixon looks like a freaking stud. He's a stud. Do you understand me? Do you understand what I said? He looks awesome. Our offensive line suddenly dropped off. Suddenly they got tired. They get bum rushed. And this is exactly, and I want to read through the group chat, but I'm not going to. We had Minnick on last week. When they want to come over after quarantine, they're all going to come over. But this is, I don't know, maybe I do have something extra special for everybody. I don't know. If everybody wants to get on Zoom, whatever. I don't care. Again. I'm not sponsored by this beer, so shout out to Tim Tan. Tim Tan has way better beer than this, even though this is a fantastic, light, crisp beer. Oh no! Shit! Interception! Damn it! Shit! Fuck! Looks like this is going to the fucking goddamn Colts! Damn it! Oh, are you fucking serious? Damn! Don't pose for a picture. No! Oh, shit! Fuck! Come on. Oh, God. Pass intended for Boyd. Pass intended for Boyd. Bengals, if the Colts go out there and take a knee like they should, and it looks like they're going to run out the clock, looks like this game is going to be handed over to the Colts. Minnick already the first one to coming in hot. All right, guys, I'm live on the podcast. Let's talk. This is. I mean, I can't be. I've got the guys on, and I don't know how to do this. I don't know. Should I screen record while I'm doing this? Minnick.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is insane. Dude. Leave it up to the Bengals, the cardiac cats.
I know, dude. Like, I was about to have a heart attack this entire game.
And what happens? We end up giving up. We came out with such an explosive offense. You want to talk about, we are the definition of bust a nut in your pants at prom. Like, we busted the nuts so early. We came out, I would have much rather of us sucked a dong in the first half and then came back and blew up on the second, because what we did was a disgusting display of letdown. What do you have to think, Minnick? You're on the podcast, you're on the YouTube. Say it loud and proud.
It's just an embarrassment.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it.
Like that.
That's Minnick.
That was disrespectful to the city.
Dude, it's so typical of the Bengals, though. It's 100% typical of the Bengals, and they let us down again. Once again, they let us down.
To be fair, though, like, they should have never been down. Never.
No, they should never have been down. Defense should have covered them. Offensive line should have given them the pressure to keep building on that score. If you go into the half 24, what was that, 24-21? You shouldn't have even let them come back to 21. But if you go into this, what the hell? Dude, this is a disgrace. It's a disgrace.
And I mean, people are going to blame Bullock, but, like...
You can't blame Bullock. We have plenty of other chances to win this.
I'm not going to buy into that hatred from Burns and Tyler right now, because, like, nope. I mean, the game should have never been in the situation where Bullock was, like, being counted on for the clutch field goal. That should have never happened. No,
not at all. Because we should not have let them come back when we had the 21 or 24 point lead. There is no reason that we should have ever let them come back from that. End of story.
Yeah, that game was an atrocity.
It was. It was a flat out atrocity.
Like that almost puts into question my defense of Zach Taylor.
Which is restate again for me. I'm a few drinks deep.
Hold on, I'm putting my AirPods in.
Put them in, dog. I wish there was a way to patch you in. I gotta find it. I gotta find out how to do it. I'll figure out how.
What I'm saying is, hold on, what was I saying before this? Oh, yeah. I was saying this almost, like, puts into question my defense of Zach Taylor. Like, I'm not on the Marvin Lewis bandwagon with Brendan, but, like, you can't have meltdowns like that.
You can't. When you start out, when you come out so hot, when your entire offensive line has historically been questioned, and finally you come into a game, and they not only had it together, they came out with their dick wagging. They came out like Pac-Man Jones. They came out like a mug. They came out waddling and toddling, and they showed the same spirit that we had not only 2 years ago, but 4 years ago and 7 years ago.
You seeing this? The Bengals are making me drink more.
You're drinking wine, dude. That's for the YouTube.
Yeah, this is bad.
Dude, it's so bad. So, all right.
I'm quarantined. I have like a whole bag of Franzia, and that's disgraceful. And it might be gone because of the Bengals.
Well, dude, I mean, not only is this the most disrespectful and disgusting game that I've seen by the Bengals yet, this is worse than the tie. This is not only cardio, dude, and on the pod, you'll listen to it because you're one of the 7 listeners. You'll listen to the comparison that I made. I said it's like getting jacked off at a funeral. It is.
You said what?
It's like getting jacked off at a funeral. It's like you're getting your thing rubbed, but you're at a funeral. You know you're gonna have to
about it, but then you realize you're at a funeral.
Exactly. I'm just disgusted.
I mean-
Not only am I disgusted, but I'm just shook that we gave up such crying,
Weren't
man.
the Bengals, I would really consider Zach Taylor's job 50-50 right now. But because Mike Brown is the owner, he's definitely going to be coaching in Week 6.
But the thing is, too, it's also Zach Taylor's second season and Joe Burrow's first, which is, I mean, you get a brand new coach, that's one thing. But if you get a brand new coach and then you also get a brand new quarterback, and you don't have Andy Dalton there to coach him through the transition. You don't
let a loser coach a winner, though.
Andy Dalton was not a loser, dude. I will stand up for my redheaded brother any day of the week. Andy Dalton was my man.
He was a loser in the clutch.
Dude,
he wouldn't have had any new...
He's not the play caller. He doesn't call the plays.
He's a loser in the clutch, though.
Can't argue. Stats don't lie.
Yeah, I'm just hoping this is not like a forewarning of like events to come. Like, I hope.
Here comes B-Dog. B-Dog, you're on the podcast.
Bad track record.
You're on the pod.
It was Voice of the Jungle.
Yep.
Fires. I'm sick of this shit.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
And how did Fat Randy...
Don't blame it on him. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
He's the most accurate kicker in Bengals history, Brendan.
I mean,
Of all time, dog. Of all Bengals time. He's the most accurate kicker of all Bengals time.
The game shouldn't have been in Randy Bullock's hands ever.
To begin with. And I totally agree with Minnick on that.
Zach Taylor needs to be held accountable straight up.
It's his second season, though.
That was a total meltdown, though. You have to admit, like,
Complete and total meltdown. Complete and total.
like that rivaled the Pac-Man Jones and Vontaze Burfict playoff meltdown.
Get the hell out of here. That was our playoff. Dude, Minnick, you can't even... Minnick, that wasn't even comparable. Not even comparable.
It definitely was. It definitely was. Like, if
This wasn't for playoff contention.
If you consider it a game-to-game comparison, outside of that being a playoff game and this being a regular season game, this meltdown was just as bad.
No. How many? I wish we need to revisit this because I want to see how many.
That wasn't at Falcons meltdown.
No. How many playoff flags did we have during the meltdown game? How many yards were given up? How many? There was 1 minute till we were it wasn't the Atlanta.
A 21-point lead.
It was horrible.
Unforgivable. Zach Taylor needs
It is unforgivable.
Marvin would have won that game.
Dude. Zach Taylor needs to be held accountable.
First quarter.
Zach Taylor should be held accountable, but Marvin, you got to wake him up during the second half.
I'd rather have Marvin.
I don't brew coffee at 4:30. I don't. And Marvin needs coffee.
Zach Taylor does not have the credentials in his background to be a successful head coach in the NFL.
You know what I would take Marvin back for?
I'd take him back for
back as a defensive coordinator.
Absolutely. Or a scouting coach or the head scout. We bring him back as the head scout.
In other news, the Browns benched Baker Mayfield today.
Yeah, well, can you blame him?
That was deserved.
He's a Bengal killer, so every time I watch him, he's awesome. So
yeah, but so was Johnny Manziel. And look at him; he's not even part of the Canadian football.
He was not a Bengals killer. The Bengals beat him every time.
No, that is so not true. I literally watched the Bengals melt down against him while I was working at Sims Tavern. Literally watched that happen. That is not true.
That.
He was coked out running his ass off. annihilating the Bengals. I watched that shit happen. He came off the bench because he couldn't get it together, but the quarterback that was starting in his place never had it together. So they brought him off the bench, and he annihilated the Bengals.
I need to. This Bengals game gave me a headache. I was dancing around in the first quarter thinking it was the second win of the Zach Taylor era, year 2. But instead, I'm once again calling for his head, and we need Marvin.
It's disgusting you even say that. Dude, it's so. I'm repulsed that you would say that. Your father should be repulsed that he even has a son that would say that. I mean, if I was your dad, I would disown you.
Marvin is a legendary coach for this franchise. You disrespect.
The disrespect is from him to the fucking Bengals. How many playoff wins did he have? How many? How many?
He did take the Ravens to the Super Bowl as defensive coordinator.
He won the ring. He's got a Super Bowl ring as a Raven. As a Baltimore Raven.
So we need to bring him back as a defensive coordinator. I'm going to cave in that regard.
Nah, I say we take Ben Roethlisberger and we bring Ben Roethlisberger back as head coach.
Hell no, I don't want that.
Did you just say Ben Roethlisberger?
I will take Ben Roethlisberger over Marvin Lewis as the head coach.
I thought we agreed to not have convicts on the Bengals anymore. Wasn't that like the point of like cleaning?
Who agreed to that? That's what makes the Bengals the Bengals. Who agreed to that?
We stink. We need a couple more felons.
I totally agree with Burns for the first time.
We need Burfict.
No, because as soon as Burfict touches somebody, he's going to get kicked out for the season.
I think we bring Burfict and Pac-Man back. I think if we put Pac-Man and Burfict as the defensive head coaches, plural, and we make them we tell them, hey, we're going to pay you what we pay a defensive coach, and we split the salary, and you guys can do whatever you want. No crimes will be held accountable to you, but you have to coach the defense. You're on. Dude, I think we would have the most unstoppable defense in the world.
Burfict is still young enough to be playing in the NFL. He's just black. I
think you need somebody like Ray Lewis, somebody who would be respected by every defender.
Yeah, not gonna lie. I mean, you bring in a fellow dirty bird. You bring in a dirty bird.
A felon's one thing. A murderer is a whole nother level.
They're both felons.
No, you bring in the Lewis.
Ray Lewis, the one guy that was
the only Lewis I'll accept back to the Bengals. I forgive. I've got a forgiving heart. I can forgive. I can't forget, but I can't forget Marvin Lewis. I can't forget Marvin Lewis. I can forgive Ray Lewis, but I can't forget Marvin Lewis.
You forgive Ray Lewis, who killed somebody.
I'll have to look in the details. I don't want to make a statement on something that I'm not educated on. I don't know the details of the murder case. I will not make a statement on that. But I would rather have Ray Lewis back, the defensive guy, than Marvin Lewis.
Marvin Lewis Foundation did a ton for this area, you disrespect.
He built the foundation. He built the foundation, but he forgot to put the fucking attic on. He forgot to put the fucking lights on. He forgot to fucking put the shingles on the fucking roof. He did not finish the job. He couldn't do it. He never did. He was never able to turn the lights on. Marvin Lewis is done, dead for the city.
Zach Taylor can't even sniff 5 wins, and you'd rather have Taylor than Marvin? You're out of your mind.
I'd rather have my dead grandmother than any of them.
The jury is still out on the 5 wins.
It's not out. We're not going to get 5 wins. If we didn't win today.
Totally agree. Got to agree with Minnick.
In the NFL, we're going to lose all 6 division games.
No.
I got to agree. I have to agree with Minnick on this.
Who are we going to beat? The Steelers are beating us twice. That's a given.
I mean, we looked good against the Browns. I'm just saying, and that Baker's not looking like he's going to be the quarterback.
Baker's undefeated against the Bengals.
He's not looking like a dynasty quarterback for the Browns. He's looking more like a Mitch Trubisky, and he's looking like they're going to probably bring in some insurance next year. to be his backup in case
Well, they already
he
did
ends up
that.
the way he is.
They have Case Keenum as the backup.
That's not insurance.
Yeah, it is.
That's a quality backup. By insurance, I mean somebody like Nick Foles.
Ooh.
Somebody who's a proven
Nick Foles
playoff
is
talent.
yeah.
Nick Foles is a proven playoff talent. You don't bring in
So is
Case Keenum.
Keenum.
All right, boys.
He didn't.
All right, boys. Since I'm on the podcast, because I'll hang up and talk to you guys about the rest of this shit. Let me get your guys' opinion. Burns, I want you to give me 30 seconds on the first quarter of the game.
The first quarter, it was a brand new Bengals team. The offensive line actually got some push. Maybe they had some fire under their butt. Maybe they were held accountable in the week. But then the second half, they forgot how to block, and that was the difference.
Give me the first quarter, Burns. Give me the hot points, the touchdowns, the Burrows, the Giovanni Bernard.
The hot take of the first quarter was that's what we have to do to make the playoffs, what we did in the first quarter.
All right, Minnick, give
We
me.
have to do that for 4 quarters.
All right, that was 30 seconds. Minnick, give me the second half. Minnick, give me the sad limp dick boner of the second half. Give it to me, Minnick.
It was just embarrassing. Like I keep saying, it was settling field goals. Should have never been that way. The defense melted down, although they did look a little bit better than they did in the second quarter. The offensive line made some mistakes, but I felt like they got it together during the fourth quarter. But it's just like they couldn't finish. Like there was some bright spots within the second half, but they just couldn't finish drives.
All right, let me ask both of you, and I want to see the first one to respond. Who is going to be, if you were to fire Zach Taylor right now, who's your head coach right now? Pay him enough money, anybody is possible.
Mike Zimmer.
Rex Ryan.
I'm going Rex Ryan. Rex fucking Ryan. Rex Ryan. He's got a dirty mouth to be a Bengal. He could be a Bengal.
Hold on. Let me.
Oh my God, Rex Ryan, you filthy.
Let me be clear about this. I want to say that I said Rex Ryan because I view that as somebody who Mike Brown would sign, not somebody who I would want to sign.
No, Mike Brown would definitely not sign him. A guy with a history of alcohol and demanding good players.
Sounds like a Bengal.
Exactly.
Mike Brown would never get the free agents that he would require to be the head coach.
I've got to go with Minnick on this one.
I just think that's who they would take. That's also who would actually accept a Bengals head coaching position, because there's plenty of coaches out there who
you know who I would get to coach. I would pay them enough money to come to Cincinnati.
I would have Chad Johnson as
Urban Meyer. No, I want
That's
Chad
exactly what I was going to say.
No, I want Chad Johnson as my offensive coordinator. Urban Meyer head coach. Chad Ochocinco as my offensive coordinator. Vontaze Burfict / Pac-Man Jones as my defensive coordinator.
I don't want anything to do with Urban Meyer. He was dumb enough to bench Burrow for Dwayne Haskins. I don't want that guy anywhere near Burrow.
Hey.
Haskins can't even start for Washington. He's awful.
Yeah, but he knows what it's like to coach in the biggest moments in football.
Exactly.
Yeah, but he was dumb enough to bench Burrow, who's a once-in-a-generational talent.
Everybody makes mistakes. That one's just so glaringly.
You're able to overlook 7 years of playoff failures, but you're not able to overlook one fucking play.
I will not.
Burns, you're out of control.
You know who I'd like to see too, though?
Who?
I'd like to see Jim Harbaugh.
Ah, okay.
That I can get behind.
I could get behind that as well. I could easily do it.
Could you imagine that, two brothers coaching in the same division?
Oh, yeah. The only thing is, if we could get... Well, there's no... It's hard to say. Dirty birds flock alone. I don't want them being a sneak dick for Baltimore. don't want a Harbaugh feeding Harbaugh shit off the Bengals like, hey, dirty bird, swoop in, here's your prey.
So I know for me an absolute no would be Jerry Jones because he's the same deal as Marvin Lewis.
Yep.
Jerry Jones is not a head coach. He's a.
Jason Garrett. That's what I meant.
Jason Garrett. I thought you meant Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Another puppet.
That's literally a clone copy of Marvin Lewis right there with a different face, different name.
Well, I think one thing's for certain: if we don't make a coaching change during the bye week, it'll come at the end of the year. I think it's rest in peace to Zach Taylor.
I know. I think if we were any other franchise, that might be true. But since we're the Bengals, I think the job is literally Zach Taylor's to choose not to do anymore.
He's got to be on the hot seat. He's got to be on the hot seat. All right. Well,
he will be. He will be next year.
All right, boys.
I'm logging out.
I'm logging out as well.
Go Bengals. Hopefully.
Go Bengals. Minnick, I'll hit you up.
All
right, peace.
Yeah.
All right. That was the official podcast, the official YouTube, the official everything. I don't know. I've got to get off of here. I've got some things to do, and I'm going to edit this, put it right up. Who day, who lost, we did. Today is such a gross, disgusting feeling. It's kind of like the weather outside. It's raining. I don't know if it's my tears or the rain, but it's disgusting. Good night and goodbye. And if you're still watching this, and thank God for you if you're one of 7 people watching it, whatever.